sun is shining 24/7. 'Cause when we're together, it feels like we're in heaven. If it will get dark, you'll be my million stars. I know I can lean on you. Ooh, you catch me like a leaf falling from a tree. If I'll be a shooting star, you make a wish. No, I don't fake this kind of feeling, never felt so real. My heart is on the table 'cause you're my everything. I do, I wanna marry you. 'Cause when you're around, I know it's true. The way you make me feel is so.
Hello and welcome. God, that sounded cheesy. All right, let's try that again. Hello. Hello and welcome to the first episode of This Is How We Met. I used my cheesy voice on that, my romantic comedy voice. This is how we met.
Did you like do the finger guns when you said that? Like, pew, pew, pew. That's what I imagine. Woo! Yeah.
I could do that.
You had a Hawaiian shirt on while you were doing it as well. Unbuttoned to the middle.
Unbuttoned with a whole bunch of jewelry here. Yeah,
yep.
Hanging. That's
very
right.
blingy.
Right. And I'm winking at you. Yeah.
Yep.
There we go. Anyways, I'm Tony and I'm with Jamie here.
Hello.
And before anybody asks, we are not a couple. We're just good friends.
Yeah. But we're going to talk to couples.
We're going to talk to couples.
Yeah.
And I mentioned romantic comedies because I hate to admit it, as a guy, I should be into the action stuff, but I love romantic comedies, and it's always fun. In fact, the reason behind this podcast is one of my favorite movies, When Harry Met Sally.
Oh, it's a good movie.
Yeah, and one of my favorite parts of that movie was when they showed real couples intermittently throughout the movie, and you get to hear their little stories a little bit. And it's like, they're all different. They all have different stories, and you could see their personalities of how they interacted with each other. And I was like, that is really cool. And I can't imagine what it's going to be like when I finally meet that one.
It is a cool concept. For those of us that are single, I think sometimes it can be an anomaly how two people are brought together and it works somehow. Not that we haven't experienced that. I've experienced that in shorter term doses, obviously not forever, but I'm no less in love with the idea of love because of that. When I see a couple that has a cool story and the synchronicities lined up and their individual paths all through life led them into this one spot where they met and fell in love, I think that's really special. And I think that gives people hope.
It does. That's one of my favorite things. One of the things I do for a living is wedding photography. And one of my favorite things is meeting the couples for the first time. And I always ask, how'd you guys meet? And the stories are just, they're so varied and just interesting. And yeah, even if it's like, oh yeah, we went to school together, but then you start asking them, well,
right.
How'd you meet? Was it in class? Was she the cheerleader? Was he the nerd? And then you start hearing it's great.
There's always a deeper story. And even the most simplistic of those stories is still really beautiful. There's still some like magic woven in, even if it's simple, even if it's just we got set up on a date. Well, there's got to be more to that. Who set you up? Why'd they set you up?
The friends.
That's what we want. That's what we want to hear.
Yeah, the friends are always interesting because, again, at these same weddings, I start talking to the best man or the maid of honor and their friends, and they love to just reveal the secrets behind everything and embarrass them, and it's great. I love that part too.
Me too.
Yeah, so we're going to be doing that on our show, and just talking to all these couples and finding out the real story.
Who doesn't want to fall in love every episode? I do.
Who doesn't?
I do.
You know what? I'm going to ask you because you said how you had a really, I think the word you used was karma type of relationship with your ex, and
I did.
And yeah. Okay, so how was that? Okay, it's a good. Let's hear it.
It's my ex-husband, but it's no less of an amazing story. We do share a child, so clearly there was a lot there. I was 24 and he was 22 when we met. We were introduced by a mutual friend who's one of my best friends. And the way that this worked, I had been best friends with this guy. He was the manager. I worked at Abercrombie, like every other chick in the early 2000s. I feel like that was in high school or right out of high school. So he was my
Right.
manager there. He was a couple years older than me, but we really hit it off. And throughout the 3 years that we had been friends, before I turned 21, I met all of his friends. He had this really big eclectic group of friends, and I had met them all except for this one person named Nate. There were two Nates. There was a Nate Svitko. I met him. He's and his brother. And then there was a Nate C. And there were all these times we were going out and someone would be like, oh, Nate C is going to be here tonight. And he would never be there. And after years of this, I'm like, Nate C is not a real person. Like, I was sure that they were just like pranking me because there's no way this person would never show up. Right.
I'm already picturing the movie for this.
Okay.
Nate C is such a good name for that kind of character. Yeah.
So to the point where one day Jesse and I, this friend of mine, we were at Cheesecake Factory, which was right across from where Nate C worked, which I did not know until this day. And Jesse and I went to eat, and he's like, "Oh my gosh, Nate C's working. We're gonna go see him. You're gonna get to meet him. He's a real person." Would you believe that we go? Nate C called in sick that day. I'm like, he's not a real person. That's not true.
Everybody's pranking you.
Yeah, I have no idea how many people you've pulled into this conspiracy, but it's it's out of hand. So I had been in a 6-year relationship from on and off from high school until college, until 16 to 22. And then I dated someone for a year from 23 to 24. My Nathan, my ex-husband, had been in a 3-year relationship until maybe a couple months before his ended, a couple months before my previous last one had ended as well. So 2007, earlier 2007, he became single and I became single in the summer of 2007. And like fate would have it, I go out with my friend Jesse. At one point, he has a house in the south side of Pittsburgh. My friend and I go over. We're with a big group of people, and because he has this eclectic friend group, there are always people coming in and out. And so it was nothing strange to me to have someone, while we're all hanging out, bust through the door and run past us all and not say anything. Like, he had some of the strangest friends sometimes, and this guy runs through, and objectively, he was like a very thin man wearing very tight pants. And he had a hooded sweatshirt on and the hood up, and he just like blew in there and didn't say anything. And I'm like, God, your friends are so weird. And never thought another thing of it. And he's in the kitchen, rooting around, making tons of noise, the lights off. And I'm like, God, Jesse, your friends are strange. So this guy comes and sits down. He never took his hood off. Never saw him, whatever. So we leave the party, and we all go to this bar that our friends own and that we were always at. My friend and I arrive last, and everyone's already there. And we walk in. This was December 7th, 2007. I don't know if I said that. And I remember the date like that. So we walk in, and this gentleman that had the hood up the whole time was at the bar ordering a drink. And I said to my friend, now this is before I had any of my Zodiac stuff and I understood my intuition and blah, blah, blah. I was too young for all that. I said to my friend, I'm going to date that guy. And she was like, what guy? And I was like, the guy with the hood.
And you can actually see.
Yeah, he has a hat on now at this point. Now. And I can see his face, and he was beautiful. And I was like, I'm gonna date him. But I wasn't the type of person to just walk up and introduce myself. Like, I'm the kind of person that kind of needs things to come to them. So I spent the whole night kind of positioning myself around him, but not knowing what to say. And toward the end of the night, a guy came up and hit on me, and Nate, who I now know as Nate C, came over, and we were at this bar that gave those when they would give you a drink, which is totally unsanitary at this point, and COVID has completely knocked us out of the water, but they used to throw like toys into your drink, like kids' toys for parties. And one of them was this big gigantic fake ring, and he put the ring on my finger, and he was like, I'm sorry, you can't talk to this girl, this is my fiance. And that was it. Like, we were together from that point on.
Wow.
Until the end of 2013. We were together for all that time.
You just jived right like that.
Yeah. I mean, we had our typical stuff, bumps in the road and the normal stuff, but that was it. We were together for all that time, got married, had a child, lived together. it wasn't meant to last forever, and that's the way that some things go. But that, I know for a fact that I was supposed to meet that man on that day in that spot. Like, there's no doubt about it.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, it was the first time that I felt energy shift. You know what I mean? Like, I understand that now at my age, having a little more life experience and understanding things, but I didn't understand that at that time. Like, it hit me like a ton of bricks when I saw him. Like, the energy shifted in the room, and I knew that he was important, and I didn't know what that meant. I get it now. Clearly.
Oh yeah. I've had one of those moments, and I've never met the woman in my life. I was in an airport in Dallas going, I can't even remember where. And I remember seeing this Demi Moore lookalike sitting there in the lounge, and boom, that energy shift, like you mentioned. And I'm like, but I never went to talk to her.
It's overwhelming. And while I believe in all of the metaphysical stuff, I'm also a very logical and analytical person. So I can debunk that quickly. I'm like, that's ridiculous. But you feel what you feel. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I could not logic my way out of that. I'm like, I don't know. I'm supposed to be with this man. I don't know what that means.
Yeah.
Turns out.
And you know, the last that I can already see as an objective observer, now you have your child from that.
No two people could have created that child besides the two of us. You know, meant to be. And I am certainly supposed to be her mother. So all worked out. I
think so. So there you go. You've got a little taste of what to expect on our show. Yeah. And yeah, I seriously can picture a whole movie out of your thing, even just how you guys met. That's
someday
crazy.
There will be.
There will be.
You never know.
You never know. Yes. Anyway, so thank you guys for listening. This is our first episode. And our homework assignment for y'all is we want to hear from you guys. Yep. Right?
We need couples.
We need couples. So, and couples of any type, any age, any orientation, whatever.
All of it.
Everything.
If you're together, as long as it's love, I want to hear about it.
Exactly. And you don't have to be married if you're just. Nope. No, we just want to hear the stories. So go ahead and contact us through our site, of course, and all of our links are on our episodes. So feel free to contact us. We'd love to hear your story.
Can't wait to hear about your love. Excited.
All right. Talk to you guys soon.
See ya.
My heart is on the table 'cause you're my everything. I do. I wanna marry you. 'Cause when you're around, I know it's true. The way you make me feel is so good, baby. So good, so good. Every single day was spent apart. I wanna be with you. Baby, take my hand, hold it tight, just like you do. Feels so good, so good. And I do, I wanna marry you. 'Cause when you're around, I know it's true. The way you make me feel is so good, baby. So